Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on the road to success.
Yo, what's going on, travelers? It's Ricky Venters and Marlon Madden, and we're back with you for another week on the Success Journey Show. What's going on, Marlon? How are you today, bro?
Man, I'm living the dream in somebody else's nightmare. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if anybody hear this is that, listen, I'll tell you the straight up truth. I did not want Old McCollum to win any more Super Bowls. I'm from New York, and I still was rooting for them birds, man. I was.
Yeah, dude. I thought the Birds had it, dude. I was like, all right, third quarter. I was like, man, these guys are rocking from the opening. From the opening, I was like, yo, these dudes are pushing this ball. So after halftime, I was like, let me just go lay down. They got this thing on lock. I said, I'll watch it. I don't know. I was falling asleep in and out. I was like, what? Wait a minute.
What's
I
going on?
fell asleep, woke up, and the Kansas City Chiefs were holding a trophy. I was like, what the world?
Bro,
happened. I'm sick, y'all, man. But yeah, it was wow. It was good game, man.
Yeah,
good game. That's what I was looking for. I didn't care. I didn't have a stake in the game.
Yeah, we didn't have a stake, but
I just wanted a big game.
It's just gonna go along with our show. What we're talking about today, they give people everything too fast. I'm not saying the kid is not good. I'm not saying he's not a great quarterback, but you can't put him in the best of all time category just from what he's done now. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more to play.
This is his third Super Bowl, right?
Third Super Bowl, second win.
I mean, hey, man, they were giving Eli Manning a whole bunch of props when how garbage he was throughout his time. And he got
so then we put him in the same. So then we'll put him in the same thing of as you said. Peyton Manning.
Eli Manning. I said Eli Manning. They were talking highly of him.
I want to get people upset. I'll say he's as good as Peyton then. Watch this. And I bet you're going to see people in our chats go crazy because you still have people that'll say Peyton Manning is better than Tom Brady.
Oh, no. You can't. No, you can't. There's no way you can.
Bro, those Peyton Manning fans, oh my goodness.
I will say when they were both playing, I was more of a Peyton Manning's fan than I was. I couldn't stand.
Oh yeah, but that's because they're New England. I couldn't stand Tom
exactly.
Brady.
I couldn't stand the Patriots.
New York. If you go for the thing, you can't. There's no way you could go for the New England. No way.
No. Especially living in New York. New York, you were not rooting for anything New England. Red Sox.
Boston Celtics. I don't care who played over there.
Boston Celtics. Nothing. Mets related. New England related. So, but it wasn't until it was just like undeniable. Like, dude, this guy is just great, Peyton. And I was just like, dude, I have to give him all credit. But like I said, like this dude Mahomes, I mean, 3 Super Bowls, dude. Like, I mean, that's he's doing something right, So I'm not gonna say he's the greatest, but he's definitely doing something right.
He's doing something. He's already Hall of Fame. No matter what he does now, he could throw interceptions from now until the rest of his career is going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. You got to give it to him. So, yeah, shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs, even though, I mean, we have no affiliation with them and no sponsorship, but shout out to them for winning.
Give us a sponsorship. Talking about sponsorship, we have a special sponsorship that we should always highlight, and that's the Hit Dr. MD, the lead swing trainer, the Hit Dr. MD. If you don't know what it is, you could go on to hitdrmd.com and you could check it out. They're our sponsor, our only sponsor for the show. And well, we have a couple other sponsors, Rick. And we failed to
Journeywear.
Journeywear. We have hold on, we still Dr. Gaddis, right?
Oh yes.
Dr. Gaddis. Gosh. Hey, sponsors, if you're looking for us, we have a list. It's been a while since. Don't listen to what we're doing right now. We will shout you out. Right. But hit Dr. A if you want to be a better batter.
Oh man, the inside joke with that. But yeah, guys, it is doing well, man. I mean, we're on this product development journey, and there's always something to do every single day. But I must say, like one thing, I'm so glad of everything I've learned up until this point, right? Yeah. Because you get those negative feedbacks, and I'm good.
Yeah,
like I'm like,
yeah.
It's gonna come. Like it's part of it. Like and you know how to deal with it. And my goal is like I'm gonna make a negative comment person be a advocate of our joint.
Yes,
like
sir.
I get mad how they feel. Everyone has a feel. But if I was starting this off from the beginning, I'll be distraught. Like, oh man, they don't like the problem. Getting upset. Like, what do you talk about? What does it mean? I don't know. I'm like, nah. Yeah, here's a simple reply. Like, hey man, glad you feel that way. We're just offering something different. It's like you just have a piece in a posture of just like, hey, we're just kind of keep pushing. So man, we're learning a lot, making a lot of movements, a long ways to go. But you guys know anyone in the baseball, softball space, this product, the Elite Swing Trainer, is something that they need in their development. So I don't care what level you're on. They need it, man. And we're going to keep pushing this thing until we get it into as many hands as possible, man. So, yeah, guys, we got a great show. Talking about baseball and softball, man. We have a great show for us today. We met this gentleman at the conference we were at in January, talking about building relationships, talking about, expanding your network, talking about baseball and softball, right? A space that Marlon and I have no prior history in outside of what we're doing now, right?
Talk for yourself. I used to play cricket.
Yeah. So we have a phenomenal guest, and we're going to go ahead and after this commercial, man, we're going to jump right to him. So listen, guys, before we do that, remember, go check us out at the successjourneyshow.com. Or hit drmd.com if you want to learn more about the Elite Swing Trainer. As a matter of fact, you should have a video either here or in the beginning. I don't know where Jay puts it, but Jay, throw that in there so they can see exactly what it is. So, guys, we'll catch you on the other side of this. All right,
peace. 21 the net. That's another one.
21 the net. Yes. All right, guys.
Like we always say, we could run our mouth all day, Ricky and I. We could talk about all the great things we've done, but we know you're not here for that. You're actually here for our guests, and we know this. So today, anytime I get to introduce a guest, I go a little extra because I don't know when it's going to come. Ricky usually does it, you know what I mean? But this brother right here, I'm going to tell you, we got down to Tennessee to the baseball convention, and we're setting up, and I heard some music, and I was like, yo, I like that song. And I walked over to a brother, and I was like, yo, where's that song? And he was telling me, and then I was like, I don't know what it was, but the Bible said, how can two walk lest they agree, right? Yeah, and as soon as I got beside him, I was like, I felt this energy, and I was like, yo, bro. And then I told him, yo, we got a podcast, get you, and we just start vibing. We exchanged numbers that day, or Instagram that day, and all through the rest of the week, he was there doing his thing, and we saw him, and he'll come over and we'll say what's up. And CJ, man, it's great to meet. It was great to meet you then, but it's even better to have you on the show today. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. It's been highly anticipated to be on your podcast show. Ricky and Marlon, y'all do a hell of a job, man. And I just can't wait. I feel like, I've been burning, like I got something to say, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is almost like an exclusive interview because not too many people know the story. They just see the glory, but they don't know the story. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody that's on here right now, I mean, we live everywhere. We got Instagram tuning in right now. We got them all, man. So we doing it, man. We putting it out there.
Yes, sir.
Man. And it's an honor, man, and a privilege to have you on, dude. It is straight up, just to kind of echo what Marlon said. We're just meeting you. I got to put this plug in right here just about your character, the type of personality you have, because, you go to a lot of these different events and you meet a lot of different people, and, you didn't big time nobody, dude. Like, you were just so down to earth. And, and when you talk to the person, you got their name, and then it was like family, instant connection, instant family. Try to build that repertoire. Try to be like, hey, I'm here to, I'm here just like you with serving, boom, 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 boom. What are you working on? All this kind of stuff, man. And just that energy, you felt that instant connections, dude. So it is a privilege and honor, right, for us to have you here on this platform. And I'm really excited to chop it up, man, and just dive into your story. So without further ado, why don't you just share with our listeners and travelers around the world, just a little bit about yourself, man. Who is CJ?
Shoot, man, I'm a guy with a vision, man. I would say that, like I've been saying a long time, CJ Beatty is a dude that had an idea, a dollar, and a dream, man. And that's what it was. And then we sprinkled a lot of prayer on top, to get me to where I'm at, man. But, I'm known internationally as the baseball and softball motivator, former draft pick of the St. Louis Cardinals, former professional scout and assistant hitting coach in the minor leagues, music artist, entrepreneur. I call myself a serial entrepreneur at this point. But philanthropist, just giving to the community a resource, whatever it is, man. And if you study it long enough, you'll see that it's a pattern. All the things that I do is always centered around helping people. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to give a shout out to my parents for that, because I didn't just that was a learned trait. That ain't something that you just have. That's something that you're taught. And I really do want to pay homage and show respect to my mom and dad for teaching me this way of life.
Love it, dude. Love it. Man, I was just in a conversation about that earlier with somebody about the roots, right? Like, what are we teaching our kids? Like, how are we raising them? What are we showing them by example? And that servitude, serving, helping, being available for other people. That's not something that's normally shown or shared with youth this day, man. So you can see that resonates through you, man. And I appreciate and applaud even moms and pops now, right? Just for the product that they made in you, man. Go ahead, Marlon. I know you were going to say something there.
Yeah, so we don't want to start all the way from the womb, but we want to start from when you're in high school. You're probably not probably you're doing sports, because you don't pick up baseball like 1 year before and say you're gonna make it
No, it didn't quite work that way.
Yeah. It's not like, I was 7 foot. A coach saw me and just said, "Hey, you play basketball?" And I was like, "No," but then he put me on his team, and I learned how to dunk, and
now I'm in the NBA. Now I'm in the NBA.
It's not that kind of story. So talk about that hard work and ethic and how did you get into baseball? I know you're down south, from down south. How did you get into baseball? Was it a passion of your father, your mother? Who in your family played baseball, and how did you orchestrate that love for it, that it turned into something prosperous?
Yeah, I became a baseball player because, growing up in the African-American community, it's always about football and basketball. And my mother was very, very, very strong on ingraining inside of me to be different, to walk the path less traveled, to be a trailblazer. And even to this day, as I look back, a lot of who I am today and the decisions that I make and the lanes that I stay in is because of that, man. My mom told me to not try so hard to fit in when you're born to stand out. And I remember she used to make me write that like hundreds of times, when you're born to stand out. And I used to not understand it. And that's one thing. That's a teaching moment right now that I want to take the time and elaborate on. I think as parents, it's important that we navigate the mental for our kids. And what I mean by navigate the mental for our kids is my mother used to make me write things that I did not want to write, but it was sowing of the seed that was important. So even as I'm writing it, and before I can go outside, I got to write, I am born to stand out 250 times. People might look at that as your mama was forcing you to do something that you don't want to do. But my mom knew that subconscious was being activated, that subconsciously that I'm believing, and I'm starting to write something that my body is seeing over and over again. And here I am in my career now, still saying that I'm born to stand out.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying? So I think it's important that parents understand that it might not be the most popular thing to continue to force feed your child, but it's necessary. You can't just allow them to have candy all the time just so you can be happy and call them your friend. You're not a friend, you're a parent first.
Yes,
so
sir.
It might be important to cram that cauliflower, cram that vegetable, cram what they need in them so they can live a long and prosperous life.
Man, I'll tell you, hey, CJ, before I know you got something to say about that. Because Ricky got 3 boys. I got 4 kids. I got 2 girls, 2 boys. But Ricky got those 3 boys. And let me tell you, today, so my son made the wrestling team. Doesn't want to wrestle. Don't care about wrestling. The only reason why I know anything about wrestling is because I was a martial arts instructor in the Marine Corps, and that they mixed that in there. But before that, I knew nothing about wrestling except messing around with Ricky and Donovan and them just horse playing, and we probably just more slap box than anything. But I told him, I said, he doesn't want to do it, but I said, listen, you want to play ball, you want to play basketball, of course, and not of course, but basketball, and I was like, yo, your foundation is not that strong. And if your footwork, your foundation is not strong, you're going to get pushed around on the basketball court. You're not going to be able to stand up to bigger guys because he's taller, but he's not fat. The kid is not going to have no that kind of weight on him. And I forced him I said, you're going to go try out for wrestling. I don't care if they put the number 1 wrestler in front of you in the nation. You better beat him to get on the team.
I like that.
And he made the team. So I understand totally when you say we're not here to be friends with our friends first with our kids, which I'm seeing a lot.
Yes.
We're here to train, mentor, guide, and put a ending product or at the end of that journey. And a lot of parents are trying to be friends first because somebody studied in a book and said you need to be their friend more than be the person that instills, hey, I'm gonna have to get you because you did X.
Exactly.
Yeah. So CJ, with that, right, and your parents instilling that in you, and that subconscious going, the scripture said, write the vision and make it plain, and she had you writing that thing down like all the time, right? So it's embedded in your subconscious. When did you start seeing, or when you can remember, when you started seeing the manifestation of those things coming to play as you were applying it in life?
Honestly, and it hits for different people, man. I'll say this just to be transparent. In our culture, and that is that of African American, we're taught survival.
Yeah.
And my parents didn't teach me the way of life. They taught me the way of survival. And that goes deep in our community. So I really didn't understand mental toughness until I was in my 20s in pro ball. Like mental toughness was not ingrained inside of me until I got outside of my culture. And typically African Americans don't really, if you think about it, you probably didn't get really ingrained into what mental toughness is or pushed to the limit until you got to the military. Because up until that point, it's like it's survival. It's tuck away your money. They don't teach you money. It's tuck away money.
Wait, yes, sir.
It's rainy day money. They don't talk investing. They say stack your money, put it in savings, or don't touch it in case it's a rainy day.
Correct. Survival.
So my parents, they did the best they could, but I didn't understand mental until I got into my 20s and until I got to pro ball. And that's when I got the pro ball and I started to really realize, dang, he's just as fast as me, or he's faster than me. Dang, his hands is quick, but I think they might be a little bit quicker than mine. And then when you get up there and you say, well, how is it that I'm going to beat this person? And then that's when the big leaguers, my rookie season, come down and talk to us minor leaguers, and they say, if you want to beat somebody or stay at this level, you're going to have to establish what mental toughness is in your life. Wow. And they started talking about routines, approaches, dieting, all this stuff that I knew nothing about. I would just show up, play hard, and live it out there on the field. Bigger, stronger, faster was all I knew. I didn't understand nothing between the ears because it was never taught to me. You know, when you're a talent, nobody teaches you anything. You ever thought about that? Yes. Like when you're a talent, at a certain level, don't nobody mess with you. If you talented, if you shoot like this and that sucker go in, that coach better leave him alone.
100%.
Don't. 100%. If you moonwalking touchdowns in, they ain't touching you. Leave him alone. For the rest of y'all listen to me, but him, he do whatever he want. And that's the way that my life was as a baseball player. Every coach I got on, they were like, CJ, do what he want to do. Because obviously it's working. Well, I'm a fool not to mess with it. When I got the pro ball, I said, nah, I'm starting to blend in and I don't like that. But you start to blend in because everybody has talent at that level, but everybody don't have mental toughness. Everybody don't have mental toughness, man. So I look back over my life and it's crazy because this is really what birthed me as on this journey to mental, because I didn't just hop on it right then and there. It started to, question marks started to swirl around my head. And I was like, how in the world can I go out and find this? So now people are introducing it to me, but I had no way of finding it. See, there's always levels to this. They're going to introduce you to something, then you're going to get back in that car. You're going to get back at home, and you don't know how to find it. They're telling me I need it, but nobody told me how to get it. So, so, I mean, then that went on to, there's so many messages in that too, man.
Yes, sir.
There's so many messages in there.
Ricky and I talk every morning. I'm not even lying to you. Ricky and I talk every morning. And these conversations about that mental toughness, how am I going to let, right now my son, oh man, he's a great basketball player, but I know that there's going to come a time where he gets on the court, every kid was a great basketball player.
Yep.
Or is a great basketball player.
Yep.
What's going to separate you, bro? What's going to make you, if math came easy to you, when you go when you go to the advanced stuff and you're in the class where everybody they just see numbers fly in front of their face. How are you going to, those are the conversations that Ricky and I are having because we want to figure it out for our kids. And it's real tough sometimes to even get that across to your kid because you come, when everybody, well, my friends ain't doing. I know. Yeah. But CJ, you mentioned something, man. You said that mental toughness. How did you gain the mental toughness now? Because now that you're there and you said, I need to gain mental toughness. You're in the pros. What steps did you say, okay, this is how I gained that mental toughness?
Mental toughness came to me in the form of multi-level marketing. And I smile because we all have our story. Everybody has their story of multi-level marketing.
Yes.
Multi-level marketing, man. I'll tell you what, MLM. What happened was I was in college. No, not in college. I was in college in the off season of pro ball. and I was at my cousin's because I got drafted my junior season. So what would have been my senior season, I'm on campus, but I'm on campus as a professional baseball player. My cousin says to me in a call, he calls me up, and I'm pretty sure you're going to laugh at this. He says, "Hey, cuz, I ain't got a lot of time, but I want to talk to you about something that's going to change your life." I look at the phone, and I'm like, "Bro, Alex, is that you? Why are you talking like this, bro? You good? If somebody got you, you good?" He say, "Nah, man, I ain't got a lot of time right now, but this could change your life. Can you meet me at 6:00 p.m.?" 6, cuz, you all right, man? Yeah, I can meet you, man. You good? Yeah, I got to step back into this meeting, but can I count on you to be there at 6? I said, cuz, I'm gonna be there at 6, man, but this might not be no foolishness, man. But anyway, I went to it, and it was an opportunity through multi-level marketing. We were pushing at that particular time. We was pushing organic coffee, and they did the whole. How many people drink coffee and tea and hot chocolate on occasions?
Yeah.
So I bought into it because I bought into it, one, because it was my cuz, I trusted him, and then he had to reinforce it with, if you don't like it, I give you your money back. So I said, all right, man, what's the worst that can happen? I trust my cuz. He said he's gonna give me my money back, so that's all he needed to say for me to sign up. I got in it, man, and I really hustled it. I hustled it hard. Man, I was slinging organic coffee like we was on the block, bro. I was pulling out sachets of coffee and sliding to people like, "Yo, what's up, man? You good? Everything good? All right, man. Look, Black. Hey, we got that latte coming in tomorrow. All right? Let me know, bro. Fresh. Hey, nobody in Greensboro got this, fam. Nobody in Greensboro got this. You on that Jamaica Blue Mountain, bro? That's fresh from the island, fam. It's fresh from the island. If you want that junk to hit hard, I got the Rishi capsules right here, bro. I got the capsules in the capsule form, bro. This junk hit like it's in your veins. But anyway, I got into that business. And the one thing that I can say that I am extremely blessed about, fellas, is the fact that multi-level marketing, I don't care which one you choose, I can promise you this is going to take you down the journey of personal development.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And that's what it did. It took me down the journey of personal development, because I got in and they was telling me, if you want to go to the next pen level, you're going to need to do it with your mind. You're going to have to do it with this. And they introduced me to audiobooks, and they introduced me to routines. They introduced me to Les Brown, which introduced me to Jim Rohn, which introduced me to having a planner and not using your phone, because you got to write the vision and make it plain. So therefore, I'm starting to go out and get a planner, and I'm writing down my whole days, and I'm doing all this stuff at 20 something, son. And once I did this, I started to see my bank account change. I started to see my life change. I started to wear stuff with a strong collar. I started to get my initials on my cuffs. I started to do crazy stuff that allowed me to believe, a lot that pushed me to dream, that grew my mind beyond the limits that my parents left me with.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And the only way that I was able to do that was from pushing my mind, picking up a book. My first book that I ever read that was outside of an autobiography was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And that was introduced to me through multi-level marketing. And so that's how I got introduced to it right there, man. And ever since then, I always knew, like, if I want more out of life, I got to grow my mind. And it started from that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dude.
You all got our MLM marketing. Talk about it.
We all got our MLM stories, dude. But I tell you one thing, like you said, I credit everything in terms of my growth, personal development, mindset, to my experience in multi-level marketing. People are like, "Oh man, did you make a killing? You make a whole bunch of money?" I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't make a whole bunch of money." I said, I didn't lose any money, right? I made more than what I, invested into it. But the personal development mindset, the character, the network that I got introduced to, the people and relationships that I have to today, dude, if I would have said, it's all because I said yes to a multi-level marketing opportunity. And just being in that and just, like you said, Ray, really embracing the fact that I am where I am today because of who I am. And if I want to go somewhere else, then I have to invest in myself, and not invest in myself and saying I need to do this and that, but get a book, read, learn, grow, all these different things. So when you say multi-level, I just start smiling because I'm like, dude, that was my story, bro. That is it. But Traveler, I want to pause real quick because travelers all over the world that are listening to this right now, like, I don't want you to miss the nugget that CJ is putting out here, because what multi-level marketing is, not to say, oh, go find a multi-level marketing thing, but what multi-level marketing did that a lot of people don't have is that accountability. Mm-hmm. And it puts you into an environment of people that are hungry. So if you can create that environment somewhere else, I don't care where it is. Like, I don't care if it's a church, I don't care if it's a community, I don't care nonprofit, I don't care what it is. But if you get into an environment, right, that's going to force you to want to grow, force you to want to think bigger, dream bigger, create routines, create all these different things, that's when you are going to start realizing the things that you say are your dreams. Mm-hmm. But absent of that, dude, you're going to be just I don't know. I haven't seen it work any other way. I'm sorry. And it's not multi-level marketing, but I haven't seen it work any other way, about that community, about that network. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that, man. And I definitely was part of some coffee joint too, man. It was some
probably you wasn't swinging hard enough, Rick.
Help drinks and cell phones, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
What was it? Quick? Was it Quick Start? What was it? Five links.
I did 5 links. Yeah,
I did 5 links.
Oh yeah, we knew about 5 links. We taught so many people out of 5 links, boy.
Yeah.
I was trying to link everything together.
Yeah, exactly.
I think y'all doing energy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Energy drinks and all that stuff.
Energy drinks. Look, we can save on utility. I said, listen, we got coffee over here, son.
That's all we do. Yeah,
coffee.
My selling for 5 links was the grocery drop.
Yeah,
you could pick your grocery. Uh-huh. That's how I sold it. You could pick the grocery and you get the grocery. Then I started doing the energy drink because I was in the Marine Corps and everybody was drinking Red Bull at that time. That was big. Red Bull. Monster was there, but Red Bull was even bigger. And I was like, yo, this drink right here, that XS whatever drink, I was like, it's the same thing as Red Bull, but it's healthy, bro.
Yeah.
We gotta be healthy,
bro. That's crazy, man. We talk about, bro, we got this paper clip, bro, but it's healthy. It's healthy and it's organic.
It's organic,
bro. You need this because when your fingers touch this,
yes,
I'm telling you, it's lowering your calorie intake. I promise you that.
Yeah, look at these charts.
Did he mention that it's from the Himalayas?
Yeah, it's from the Himalayas, bro. Because like when they fold it up, bro, you didn't even know when they fold these paper clips, they using organic tongs. You didn't even know that, did you? Like,
yo, look at this data. Look at this data right here. Look at these.
I'm telling you, look, hey man, matter of fact, I got the presentation right here on my iPad, bro. Look at it. But look, here's the one thing that I'm forgetting about MLM. Look, you think that's crazy? We got 19 ways to get paid, bro. Let me show you our compensation.
Yeah. But you know what made me laugh when we first started? It was like, hey, yo, I don't have a lot of time.
I'm telling you, bro. Hey, man, but see, I excelled in it so long. I'm telling you, I was in it for a good 3 months. And 3 months in MLM is almost like 6 to 9 months because it's every single day. You're trying to recruit every day. It ain't no Monday to Friday. It's 40-hour. It seems like it's 72-hour work weeks, bro, because you're like going in every day, right? So you start to develop, you know what it is before they do it. You know, like you'll get somebody, because what multi-level marketing became, honestly, it started to try its best to ingrain itself within the day-to-day things to not help you understand that it's a pyramid or a MLM. So what they would do is they will always try to say things that makes it sound, but it does not matter because if your ears are trained, you can sift straight through all of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, I have an opportunity call MLM. We have MLM. Hey, I got 6 people. I got 6 spots left for this opportunity. MLM.
Yeah.
It don't matter. We know, bro. Just I used to, like, when people get me on the phone, I used to do like this. I was like, hey, bro, let me stop you right there, man. Tell me what your compensation plan is. Excuse me? I said, oh, you ain't been in this long. I need to know what's the percentage of your what's the top line? I need to know the comp plan. How many ways can I get paid? Do I just need to sell product, or what am I push? Like, they were looking at me like, how do you know all that?
How do you know all this?
How do you, I was like, how long you been in the business? Like, you can tell, you can tell them, like, you can even tell them, I turned the sale on to somebody that was trying to sell me. I was coaching them on how to sell their multi-level marketing.
Yes. Hey, you missed a step.
Yeah, exactly. I told the guy one time, I said, first of all, man, you need to go after the 5 checkers. Do you know what the 5 checkers are? He was like, the 5 checkers? I said, yeah, man, you got to go after married people, person that lives and makes this much money, understand this. He was like, oh, man, he was over here like, no, I didn't.
I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean?
But for real, like we said, man, honestly, I mean, all of the things that I'm doing right now, I structure my business based off of MLM. My whole sales team that I have rocking with Beatty right now, it's the same thing. And it's funny to say this because we was in a meeting the other day, and I said, when we sign up our people, the top line people gonna get 20%. Everybody that comes in after that is probably gonna get 10. And then some of that 10 is gonna funnel up through that 20 to get to me.
Yeah.
Everybody, and then what I ended with, it's all about timing and positioning. I told you, and I just had this call, but where did I get that from? Multi-level
marketing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So after those 3 months, CJ, and you said, okay, your bank account and your hunger, what was the next step? Where did you go from there?
Well, so then at that point, man, I was already a motivational speaker. By that time, I was a motivational speaker, not professionally. I was just doing it in the off season in elementary schools and middle schools, high schools, just giving back to the community. But I mean, where the rubber really met the road for me, that I was still actively chasing the big leagues at that point. But where the rubber met the road for me, and when I really became like I've taken it to the next level, was I had to be able to go all the way to the ground floor. And let me tell you this much. If God wants to get your attention, fam, he can get it. He'll get it. And he got mine. Because I thought that I was Deion Sanders. I thought that I was Hollywood Beatty. I thought that I couldn't be touched. I thought that everything. But then, boom, I came into the locker room and the Cardinals emptied out my locker. They emptied out my locker, and I was sitting there distraught, sitting there frozen, understanding, like, how could this happen to me? Not me. I've excelled at every level that I've been at. And I felt like I was a victim of the system, and it was nothing that I could do. It wasn't like I could hit a reset. It was like it's over. Like I'm staring inside of my locker, and nothing's in it. And seriously, as I turned to look for, anybody or anything, everybody that's in that locker room doesn't want to make eye contact with you, so they turn their heads too. So you're feeling alone at that moment. So the only thing that I really had as I packed up my stuff and I got on the highway and I headed up 95 back to North Carolina from Florida, I only had my mental to lean on. And before I could even there's steps. Before I even got to the mental, I had to have a foundation before you get to the mental.
Yes.
And the foundation was faith. That was my foundation. See, people will skip that and they'll be like, man, you know what? I had to just believe in my, no. Let me tell you what happened. I hit rock bottom. And the only thing that was going to bounce me back was faith. That was it. My faith is what got me off the rock bottom. Going back to, there was no friends. I didn't want to face anybody. I didn't want to call anybody. All those A1s, day ones, and all of those people, I didn't want to call nobody. But there was always somebody there, and it was God. God picked me back up. God restored me. I didn't call on a rap song. I wasn't listening to Lil Wayne when they let me go. I turned on something that was going to heal me, and I turned on gospel music.
Mm-hmm.
It started to like restore me. And it built me back up. It dried my tears up. And then that's when I activated the mental.
Yes, sir.
And that right there is when I felt like, and I have an album coming out I'm working on right now. It's called They Created a Monster. And that right there is when a monster was born. Because at that particular time, I said they released a player that they'll never see again. They released a person they will never see again.
Yes, sir.
You know, some people are afraid to get released. Some people are afraid of adversity and failing and missing the mark, but you got to understand it's necessary if you want to be great. And I want to be great. So I knew that I was on the right path, and I knew that I was on the right path whenever I said, oh, shoot, they tried to stop me. That means I'm going to be great. Let's keep this thing going.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So that was really the turning point for me in my life right there, because I made up in my mind that I'm going to grow my mind. I'm going to grow this mental toughness. I'm going to keep a notebook. I'm going to start reading more books. I got to get this thing sharp. And along the way, what one of my mentors told me this, they says, the moment that you turn your desire into a burning desire, that's when you'll find the answers. Yeah. And the answers will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? No, he was like, seriously. He said he read that in the book, Think and Grow Rich. He says, when a man turns his desire, his simple desire, into a burning desire. A burning desire is knocking on doors with no shoes on, because you don't care what it looks like. You just knocking on the doors. A burning desire is it's raining outside, but you still knocking on doors. A burning desire is you ain't got no coat on, but you still knocking on doors. That's a burning. Yeah. I turn everything that I do into a burning desire. And that's when it started to shift for me.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show. You can check us out on our social media on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Also on our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Dude, just sit in that, guys.
Yeah, just sit in that.
Just sit in that, like think about your life. And you know, we talk about dreams and goals and all those different things, but what has become a burning desire for you? Like for real, what has become a burning desire? What and people say, well, what wakes you up? You know, what's your why? All that kind of stuff. But like, what is that burning desire when it's not even about sleep anymore? It's about sleep as a function in order to help support that burning desire, right? Like, okay, let me get a few hours so I can rejuvenate my mind so that I can get back at it. Not, oh, I'm tired, you know? Dude, that is heavy, man. That is heavy. So when you really start to embrace that, you know, share with us, what did it look like on the other side of that? What things started to manifest for you in your life as you really started to adopt that to your life?
Like everything changed. Like seriously, people say, how do you find great people to hang around? And I say the step one is you got to attract the people to hang around.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. You got to attract the people to hang around. If you want to hang around higher level people, then you need to grow your mind so you can attract higher level people. And let me give you an example. People say, man, they got a great idea and they want to come to you so you can get some help them with a loan or help them with some seed money or an investment money, right? But they're trying to figure out, like, why is it that when I go to Beatty, he kind of like sidesteps me with my idea? I know he's got the money to be able to help me. I'm only asking for a couple of this. But why he? Because here's the thing. If you don't sound like your investment that you're asking for, then I don't want no business to do. I don't want no business with you.
Yes, sir.
If you don't sound like the amount of money that you're asking for, then we don't do business. And it's nothing personal, but you got to sound like what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Like it's never been brought to people's attention. How can you ask me for $100,000 if you don't sound like $100,000? You coming to me asking me for $100,000 sounding like $10. And then want to be upset that I can't give it to you because I know that this $100,000 ain't coming back from this $10 amount.
Yeah. Oh man,
so you gotta attract the people that you want to hang around, man. So because if you show up, like check this out, if you ask for $100,000, but you come talking $100,000, you ain't even gotta look like $100,000, but you talk $100,000. That's when they say real recognize real.
Real, yes, sir.
Man, you say, look, I ain't got $100,000, but this is what I have. This is my business proposal. I've looked it over. I've studied it for a year. I've been in the industry. I got my analytics together. This is what I have. This is what we're going to get in Q1. You get your investment back in Q2. You come to me talking like that, I'm like, okay, this brother's special. I can rock with that. Matter of fact, let's get on a call. Let's get on an opportunity call and let's map out stuff. I'll sign an NDA for you and let's see what you got. See,
sir.
Because a lot of people, and I'm glad I explained that, because a lot of people be like, man, that's crazy. He talking because he used to be. No, it ain't like that, bro. My mentors had to rock with me the same way. People don't understand that if you don't sound like it, that's not how this game is played. You got to learn how to play the game within the game. So if you got an idea as an entrepreneur, don't go to nobody out here with your dreams until you sound like your dreams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ricky, man, we talk about this all the time, is that when we step to somebody with our presentation, or when we sit down with somebody, or when somebody, because Ricky and I have a development company, right? And when somebody says, hey, I want to develop an app, we say, okay, yeah, we could do that for you. We sit down, we get the scope, and we're like, and we're talking about it. If the person don't think that we have the capability from the presentation or from the conference call that we did, they're going to probably be like, yo, nah, these guys are definitely not it. But when you mention the steps, just like you're saying, the steps and how we're going to get from here to there, and they can see that vision, by the end of the call, they're like, man, where do I sign, man? I'm ready to go, and you got to develop this thing for me. And a lot of times we want to create a business. Now we're going to get to that entrepreneur side that you were talking, that you're talking about. You're talking about our lane, man, because there's a lot of times in our community, the Black community, we want to have a business, but we don't want to put the structures around the business to make the business flourish. We just think we should just put the item out there. And why is it not selling? Oh, why is it not selling? Bro, you have no structure around it. Nobody believes in it. And then when you come to somebody like us and you say, like you said, you sound like you're a $10 guy. So now that you went through that entrepreneurial, you're thinking differently. How do you, as an entrepreneur, everybody wants to have an LLC and wants to be able to show that paper. I got an LLC. I got my EIN. Man, I got my business. I'm a business owner.
Hey, if you don't have yourself together, the only thing you got with that LLC is a yearly fee.
Exactly.
It's a yearly fee. That's all you got, man. You got a piece of paper and $100 worth of fees that you got to pay. You got a bill. That's what you
get. Exactly. You bought up a bill.
Yeah. So how did you learn about that stuff, the structure? Of course, you're saying you're reading, but during the reading, to structure the business, what did you lean on somebody? Did you just only read? How did you formulate that to say, okay, let me start up this business right?
I would say the first steps that I did to understand, I mean, it took a level of humbling. That's the first step that I feel that people have to understand. When you're getting into this entrepreneurship space, you need to be humbled before you start. Because so many people get into this entrepreneurship space with their pride on their sleeve, with their heart on their sleeve. And when somebody gives them constructive criticism or guidance, they want to say, I want to do it my way. But let me ask you this, for the people out there that are just new in entrepreneurship, and you're saying things like, I want to do it my way. I'm going to be innovative. Let me tell you something. Millionaires copy millionaires.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Millionaires copy millionaires. You out here trying to recreate the wheel like you got tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow ain't promising. You out here spending years trying to recreate the wheel to do it your way. But here's something that's going to drop the mic on you right here. How in the world are you going to tell yourself how to get to the promised land if you've never been to the promised land?
Come on.
How can you get to my house if you've never been? How can you get to success if you're still looking for it?
Yeah.
You need help. Everybody has help. Even the Lone Ranger had Tonto.
Yes, sir.
You call the Lone Ranger.
Even Albert Einstein goes on record as with him being one of the most influential geniuses of all time, but he goes on record saying that the mistakes of others influences my decisions.
Yes,
that means he needed other people to help him. So why are you trying to be the first one to do it by yourself?
Yeah.
And the reason why you're trying to be the first one to do it by yourself is because everybody that tries to do it by themselves fails.
Yeah.
It's a success. It's a success equation. But to answer your question, I had to humble myself. And once I understood that things, like there's an equation to every level of success out here. And when I started to understand that this person that is on this call, this person that is standing in front of me, it didn't take long for me to put two and two together and say, well, if he does have $1 million and I do see him pull up in this red Corvette, or I do see him pull up in this Maserati, I would be a fool driving my Mazda to say that he don't know what he's talking about. I'll be an absolute fool to be like, I don't want to listen to you, sir. Even though you look like you know what you're talking about and you've been there before and you're trying to give me every success secret that you got, I'd rather do it my way. And that's the people that people are hanging around. That's the 98%.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I had to humble myself, and then I understood that the success equations work. When anybody stands up at any amount of success, I don't care if you're a teacher, you're a success. I don't care what it is. If anybody's trying to share a secret of success with me, I take it in. I shut up and listen. I want to listen because you could tell, like 90% of what you tell me could absolutely be trash. But that 10% could make me $1 million.
Yep.
So that's why I listen to everybody. Not 90%, I'll be over here like, man, hey, that's good. But then as I'm doing like this, you might say something, be like,
oh,
hey, hold on, sir, stop. Can you say that one more time, please? And then I'm taking that down like, nah, I never looked at it like that. You know, so I think that right there is humble, because you got to be humble to do that. You got to be humble to put the pride to the side to be able to do that, you know?
Bro, you ain't said nothing but a word. Let me tell you something, man. I hear people. Let me tell you what Jay-Z sold out. He don't understand that we want to be 100% black owned. He sold out to this company and gave them this percent, and now he only owns 42%. I'm looking like, you know that Jeff Bezos only owned like less than 17% of Amazon, right? And he's a multi-billionaire.
Yep.
Like, you guys understand that, right? But because you don't understand that concept, you guys don't understand what it means to partner with people and how to structure a business to help you scale to another level. I'm like, a lot of people, they just talk. Oh, if I had the country, this is how I'd fix the deficit. Bro, you can't balance your $1,000 checkbook.
Yeah. Yeah. And dude, but the thing you said that in there, both of you guys, is Jeff Bezos owns, a minority share of Amazon. Who else owns Amazon? Amazon. You don't know, right? We can't list all the other owners. You could probably look it up online, but you can't list it. But guess what? They are as wealthy or similar situation as Jeff Bezos in terms of wealth, right? But they don't need to be in a limelight. Their name don't need to be listed. But guess what? They understand what it means to be successful. And the reason why I say that is because what CJ is saying, it's like, you listen to all these people, most people that are millionaires, you don't even know who they are. Because why? Because you're looking at the people that are, hey, I got all these different followers on social media. Oh, I got all these different things. They're in the limelight. Oh man, we're killing. But you're like, multimillionaires are sitting back like, nah, I just get up early in the morning. I take my notes. I just get up in the morning, set my routine. I'm the quiet guy, and I may have the nice car, I may not have the nice car, right? But if your eyes aren't open to really looking and observing and trying to follow those patterns and recognize what those patterns are, you will never be able to understand who and what direction that you're going in and what direction you need to go in. So paying attention to not only, like, when you see they said, oh, that 10% is what got me over the edge. Like, dude, like, it takes a skill to sit there and listen to that, to find that 10% of information. Like, yo, that's what I need right there. And how do I take that 10%? And now how do I apply that? And goes back to the very first thing. I apply it because I take out my notebook. I know where I'm going. I'm mapping it out. I'm applying it to my day, applying it to my strategy, applying to all these different things. Boom. And over time, you start seeing the fruit of the knowledge that you're gaining, the fruit of your labor and things of that nature. Guys, it's not rocket science, but at the same time, it takes discipline, diligence, dedication, drive, dream, right? In order, man, to achieve it and get there, dude. Because CJ, man, I'm loving so much, man, what you're sharing with us tonight, man, because it's like it's so refreshing. Marlon and I, we tell people, I mean, we do Success Journey Show, people listen to this all around, right? But we're selfishly, this is our Monday motivation time for us. Right? Like, we get off of these calls. I can't go to sleep after these calls. I'm just up like, all right, man, what else I got to work on? Okay, what else I got to do? Well, I was like, man, y'all go to bed. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm just fired up. I can't sleep. And my mind is just running. Yeah. So, man, we love what you're sharing, dude. Like, as you are, gaining these experiences, learning from these individuals, your mentors, and things of that nature, talk to us about just the transfer of that information. Now that you're receiving this information, you say you do motivational speaking, you started off, doing it just for giving back, but then start building your built your platform to where now you're able to give this knowledge and these nuggets to people of all the information that's been poured into you now to release this to individuals. Talk about that level of transition in your life, right? And being more I want to say disciplined, but more, what's the word? I'm lost of words right now. More intentional, right? Intentional about the pour back into the community.
That the word that you said, and it's crazy that you say you lost words, then you went this directly to the word that I was going to say that I live on. And that's being intentionality. Like, being intentional is what people miss it. And I feel that everybody, if they focus on being intentional, then that's when they're going to see some things dynamically shift. And, I read a book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Tipping Point, and it talked about the different epidemics that happened and what spurred the epidemic, and what spurred the change, and how did it grow from this, and the different types of people that are in place to be able to start an epidemic. And I think if you want to be able to start an epidemic in your life in a positive way, it starts with being very intentional, and that's through the roots of discipline. If you are starting to be more intentional with the words that come out of your mouth, if you start to become intentional with the people that you allow around you, if you start to be intentional with what you say to the people when it comes to communication, that of your wife, that of your spouse, that of your neighbor, that of your kids, that of your friends, your colleagues, if you're intentional, then that's when things are going to be more precise in your life. Like, if we're intentional with gardening, you got to be intentional about it. You can't be loose with it, because if you're loose with it, you can plant 100 seeds, but if you're loose with it, you'll lose some to the birds, some to the wind, some will not even grow because you didn't put it in fertile ground. So out of 100 seeds, you'll probably only get 5 plants. But if you're intentional, if you've done your homework, if you've done your due diligence, if you understand where the sun rises and where it falls, if you understand all the little things that you're intentional about learning before you plant those seeds, you'll probably end up getting all of those plants to come to life, or 90% of them, because of the intentionality of the method, of the process. Mm-hmm. So I believe that's where I got the most out of me, and what I continue to strive for is being intentional about it, to make sure, if I need to be better in something, I need to be very intentional about what happens, about what I'm saying, to make sure that I'm crystal clear, slow down, listen more, talk less, be more intentional about these things. When it comes to sharing and wanting to grow, I'm intentional about it. So it's like, who am I going to allow around me in my circle? I'm very intentional about that. Like I'm serious, because whoever you hang around is what you become. Yes, and sir. So if that's the case, then I have to be intentional about who I allow around me and what I allow around me and what I allow myself to listen to. Because so many people, because man, I rock with this song because it's a great beat. It gets my body moving, but you don't understand being intentional about what you're allowing inside of your body. Like what are you around? Like that negative energy, the vibes and all of those stuff is transferable. Like that energy is contagious. So you got to be intentional about what you allow in your body. Like when I'm riding in the car, sometimes I choose intentionally to listen to audiobooks. Like strategically, I'm intentional about it. My body might not listen. My body doesn't want to listen to audiobooks all the time. But the fact that I force feed myself that means I'm intentional about making sure that it gets its due.
Yeah.
Like, and then of course, like people say, I don't really want to go to the gym, but I'm intentional about going.
Yes, sir.
I'm consistent about going. I'm very intentional about my actions because I know what I'm going to get from it. So I think the intentionality, being attention to detail, being intentional about those things is what you need.
I love it. I'm telling you, it's so funny. You mentioned music, man. Like a kid, and I'm not knocking on, I'm not calling out any specific artist, but artists will say, man, I get up every morning, I think about killing, I shoot my gun, every song is that, right? And then you hear such and such shot somebody today, and you'd be like, I could never believe that he would do something like that.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
He's such a nice kid. Did you hear a song? He said every morning you get up, you think about shooting.
That's crazy. And I mean, it's the subconscious is a dangerous place, man. And the mind. See, that's what I think I read in a book talking about the mind. You have to be careful, very careful what you use your mind with, because whatever you plant is what you'll get out of it.
Yes, sir.
Because the mind doesn't know whether it's poisonous or whether it's unfruitful. It's just whatever you plant in it is what it's going to produce.
Correct.
Like people don't understand that way of thinking, that perspective, that analogy with their mind. So like if you happen to open up your mind and see all of the things that you're allowing inside, or AKA planting inside of it, that's why things don't work from you year in to year out. And that's why you have the same New Year's resolution every single year, because you continuing to plant things that are not for you. You know, you've been trying to lose 10 pounds for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because over 50 years, you know, you could have lost all of us 50 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But I think that is realistically what it is. It's just people they need to study the mind. If I had a tip, study your mind.
Yes.
Be more intentional about really understanding who you are. If you want, here's some nuggets. If you want to change your environment, start with the change inside of you, because you can't move to a better environment thinking that that's not going to follow you. Your actions will follow you. The way you talk will follow you. Oh, I got to get out of here because it ain't nothing here. It ain't no men's for me here. So I got to go to a better pool. No, you're going to get there. You're going to take that goddamn city to the new city. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that it's you.
Yeah.
So I can't just put on some new clothes and go take an Instagram picture and say, new year, new me, and put on a brand new suit and I become new?
Nah. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. You know, it definitely don't work. But a lot of people do. And that's why a lot of people are the 98%. That's why there's only 2% of people out here winning. And people hear that, but they don't understand. Like it goes into detail when you look it up. The 2% are 2% of people that are winning is when a household in America is making collectively over $100,000. Seriously. People don't understand this. are collectively making over 100. It's probably because of inflation. Maybe let's just say it's 150 now. Yeah. $150,000 between two married husband and wife, two household. $150,000. If you're not making over $150,000 between the two of you,
you're not in the 2%.
You're considered broke in America.
Yes, sir.
You're in the 98%.
Yeah.
And when you uncap all of the people that's in the 98%, there's a pattern on why they're in there. They're not intentional. They wake up late. They got excuses. They say, I don't want to deal with them right now. I'm tired. When you start to sound like the 98%, that you're going to look around. That's why you're around the 98%. You know what I'm saying? So the 2% is doing the opposite.
You know what? But, you know, you see some guys and ladies in the 98% that they go hard on certain things, but it ain't the right things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why they in the 98%.
You got the grind.
You know what that says? You know what that says for a coach? They got potential, but potential don't get you in the big leagues.
Exactly. Exactly.
Potential don't get you in the big leagues.
Say that again.
Yeah, potential don't get you in the big leagues. Oh man, they grind hard. Oh, he works hard. I'm not about to put my name on somebody to just, oh man, we got to draft this kid. Why? Why should we draft him? Because he works hard. Or he has great ideas. Well, he's a hard worker. Okay, yeah, let's give him $1 million. He's a hard worker. No. You either are or you're not.
Yeah. And you know what, too? I'm also realizing a lot of people, 98%, is that because of the environment that they're in, they're okay being in that 98%. Because all their friends are in 98%. And it's so easy to create a impression on people that you are in a higher percentile than you actually are, right? Mm-hmm. So as long as I can floss and show people that I'm, somewhere else, I'm good. And I don't know if they're truly satisfied with it.
No, they're not. They're not. Rick, there's so many people. Look within even the music industry. Look at so Hollywood have all these people who we supposedly say are in that 2%.
Hold on, keep this going. I gotta get my charger real quick. Hold on, keep this going.
Oh, you good?
No problem. And they're in that 2%, right? And within that 2%, they're saying that they're doing this because they're not fulfilled. They're killing themselves. I'm going to say that right. They're committing suicide because they're not fulfilled. They're not happy with themselves. They disappear. They start doing crazy stuff. And we say, why is this person doing X? Bro, they're not fulfilled. There's some people that's in that 98% who the only thing they have is to post and say, I'm this. Mm-hmm. And that's the only... They live that out, and that's why they got to post again, because they're living. It's just like a drug addict, right? The first time they get that high, and the next time they hit lower, then they're trying to get up, trying to get lower, try to get up, and they do that, and they just keep on doing that same thing over and over, Rick, man. If they are truly happy, God bless them. But the majority of them, they're happy today, and then tomorrow you see the same post about, yo, man, I don't know if I could take this life anymore.
Dude, it's one of those things where it's just like, and you got to be honest with yourself, right? And I deal with that myself, like this whole weight loss journey. And CJ was talking about me, and getting in shape, and it's one of those things where it's like, Rick, are you serious, or are you comfortable where you are, right? And the only way you get uncomfortable is if you're around people that are, if I'm always around people that are doing in fitness and doing different things and staying healthy and doing that, I'm uncomfortable. I'm on the phone with Marlon, and Marlon's like, yo, I'm in the gym right now. I'm uncomfortable because I'm like, oh man, I should be in the gym. I should be in the gym right now. I'm going to the gym in the morning. Take my kids to go work out, and they playing ball, and you look at all the kids in fit, and I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, oh man, I should be, whatchamacallit. But you have people that are in that thing, and they're content. They're like, hey, I had my day in the sun. I'm just good. I'm just good where I'm at right now. I'm just gonna be overweight, and that's what it is. Let me go get my sub sandwich after I after I do this. And it's like some people have come to a resolve that this is what life is going to be for me.
Yep. Yep.
Whether they're happy with it or not, they come to a resolve. And the only reason I'm just throwing this out there as like devil advocate. The only reason why I feel as though they're okay with that resolve is because the environment that they're in allows them to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You
Hey, Rick, I'm gonna tell you this. I think we're gonna have to bring CJ back. These people are not gonna be able to.
Yeah, I was going to say we can't unpack everything on this. We'll be on 3 hours.
It's 3 hours.
4-hour podcast.
And we know about people's attention span. So what we got to do is we got to leave them yearning for more and want more. And CJ does have more because this story, we didn't even get into all the different endeavors you're doing and what you're doing within the community. So, Rick, you always wrap it with a nice thought. And CJ, I'll do this portion before Rick wrap it up. If somebody wants to find you, if somebody want to talk to you, if somebody wants to get in contact with you, how do they do that? What's your different handles and how could they do that?
Rock with me on, if you need to find out more information about me, you can go to www.cjbeatty.com, Beatty. Follow me on Instagram at CJBeatty44, Twitter at CJBeatty44. It makes it easy for everybody. Just type in the search CJBE and that sucker with a blue check mark pops up. That's your boy. You know what I'm saying? That makes it official, so you won't have to worry about seeing all those other phonies out there trying to portray me. But other than that, man, I appreciate you guys for letting me come on, man. I had a blast, and I can't wait to come back because I feel like that was part 1 of the part 4 series. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Call this thing church.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Revival. We got a revival series going on.
Pastor Betty.
Beatty.
I take Bishop. Bishop would be all right.
Bishop Betty. Prophet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all, listen, man. This has been a wonderful time, man. And I'm gonna actually leave on one note, one word, not one word, but just one more nugget to our team. And usually I like to have our guests go back in a point in time based off of the story that you revealed to us. And what I want to do is ask you if you can go back to that CJ that was inside writing, hey, I am different. I am here to make a difference, right? As your mom was instructing you, and you can take 60 minutes with that CJ, 60 seconds with that CJ, knowing what you know now, what would you say to him?
I would tell him to make sure that you grow your mind and make sure that you read as many books as possible. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna tell him that, son, you're gonna change the world one day. And if you want to change the world faster, I need for you to understand the power of mental toughness. Mm-hmm. Power of mental toughness. I said, trust me, I'm from the future. And I'm telling you that what you're going to have is beautiful. You're going to help so many people. But you can help me out by starting this mental toughness journey now.
Yes, sir.
Because we got data. But if you get it now, you're going to help me reach more people.
Yes, sir.
Love it. Well, travelers, man, you have it. Thank you guys for listening. We do this for you, right? We love you. We know everyone's on a different journey. Everyone is traveling on their road to success, and we're here for it all, right? So we really appreciate you tuning in with us today, another week. And don't forget to go to our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com, and check out all of our previous guests that we have had on. Also look in the show notes. You can find all the information about CJ here. Again, we want to thank him for spending some time with us, sharing some nuggets with all of us. And we will see you guys next week at the same time, the same place on the Success Journey Show. Everyone have a good one. Peace.
One love. One love.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.